All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce, as usual. It is Monday, yet another Monday. Big snowstorm coming our way here in New England, so I'm excited for that because I do love the snow. And so yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, what are we talking about today? I'm excited. I'm excited for snow. I'm excited for the song of the day, this band, this record. So let's get started. We're going back to January 28th, 1985. This band releases a single in the UK that was already released in the United States in November of 84, and it didn't go anywhere in the United States, zero. And it was a fairly decent hit in the UK. But it's got a little story behind it. But we're talking about the band, the Smiths. And yes, finally I get to talk a little bit about the Smiths. And the song is, of course, How Soon Is Now. All right, so let's try to make this concise, right? The Smiths, they were only a band from 82 to 87. How about that? 5 years of music, 4 albums. And of course, they're a UK band. From England, Morrissey, working class family, quirky guy, and then you got Johnny Marr, who also is the face of the Smiths, and they put out these 4 records in this 5-year period, and all 4 of those records are on the Rolling Stone 500 most best albums, most influential albums of all time, and 2 songs are on the top 500. I think it's this one, How Soon Is Now, and there's one other one that's on there. I'll think of it, but anyway. So, How Soon Is Now is a song that was put out as a single in the UK and kind of in various forms. It's a 7-minute song, first of all, the original cut, so that's tough to put out as a single because when they cut it down to 4 minutes, you don't really get the effect. Also, it's not really in the form of a typical Smith song. It's a little different, so that's why they didn't think that it was going to be a hit. And it turns out that it was a hit. They put it out, and it was a club hit, and the DJs were playing it late at night, and getting a lot of requests for it, and it kind of forced their hand to put it out as a single. It had actually been a single the summer before. It was a B-side to a song that summer before that got 0 attention. I mean, like it was the B-side to William Was Really Nothing, which was released in August of 84. And so they had to re-put it out on a compilation album by that fall because of this popularity that it got, slowly coming along until they eventually put it out again as a single. It's a convoluted story, but basically it's not a straight up release the album, release the single, and it was a hit, because that's not how it worked. It did go to number 24 in the UK. It just did not go anywhere in the United States at all. Even Morrissey was interviewed by Cream magazine and said, I don't know what the story is, I don't know why that's not a hit in America. And I'd have to agree, but I wonder if you played that song for the 15-year-old myself, what I would have thought of it. Again, this came out in January. It came out in November in the United States, and I was on the cusp of about ready to see my first concert, Aerosmith, as we talked about. Would I have liked the Smiths then? I don't know. Hard to say. I mean, I was into new wave music. What would I have thought of that? And then think about it. I've been over this a lot, but it was not easy to listen to music, just new music that you'd never heard before. You didn't have an outlet for that unless you heard it on the radio or someone had a cassette of something, you didn't get it, or if it was on MTV. But you couldn't just play something that you'd never heard before, and you certainly weren't going to buy a whole album. And then you think about the Smiths in general, I thought they were a punk band. You looked at their records and their album covers, Meat is Murder, The Queen is Dead. I mean, I thought it was basically like the Sex Pistols is what I thought in my mind. Not that I knew much about the Sex Pistols either, but I just thought it was music that was way far out there, and it turns out you listen to Smith songs, and there's so many good ones, it's nothing like that. So, and I don't even know if I heard of the Smiths until middle college, end of college. I'm not even really sure when I got introduced to the Smiths, but I was shocked when I finally started listening to them, and they were not at all what I thought that they were going to be. So I'm a big Smiths fan. We could talk more about a lot of their other hits, but we'll save those for future episodes when we get more anniversaries of records. The Smiths, they broke up. Morrissey obviously had a very successful solo career. It's hard to tell sometimes the difference between his solo stuff and the Smiths if you're not familiar with the Smiths albums, although he is known, I think he's known for being a little difficult. I'm not sure, but I've never seen them in concert. Johnny Marr was a Pretender for a very short time. In 1987, he joined the Pretenders for one single, Window of the World, and one tour. And then he was in the band The for from 88 to 94. He did 2 albums with them. I did not know that until I read about that. The Smiths. Tell me about your Smith story. When did you hear him for the first time? I mean, really, it was the alternative people that were college that were listening to them, as far as I can tell. But if you were a Smiths fan in the 80s, I want to know how you heard about them. That's what I want to know. That's all I got. 6 minutes, not too bad. All right, The Smiths, How Soon Is Now. This is a great song. Oh, by the way, we could make a remake. Love Spit Love did a version of this that I approve of. If you think that, that's a tough song to remake and to approve of it, I'm very a stickler for remakes. But Love Spit Love, who's Love Spit Love? Well, it's an offshoot of Psychedelic Furs. That's Richard Butler, the singer of the Psychedelic Furs, lead singer of this band, Love Spit Love, and they do a version of this song for the movie The Craft, and it's actually a good version. I like it, so I do approve of that. So, How Soon Is Now, The Smiths. Listen to it today. Tell me your thoughts. Have a great day, and as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.